Before ready-made clothes, before imported fabrics, before fashion became fast, the people of Ubulu-Uku wove their own protection, their own dignity, and their own identity. Thread by thread, cloth became language. In Enuani, this white cloth called Ákwà-Ọcha was never ordinary. It was worn to mark honor, transition, and belonging. Even today, long after machines have replaced hands elsewhere, the sound of looms still echo in Ubulu-Uku. But the question is no longer how this cloth is made. The real question is whether the world will allow this particular cloth to survive. Traditional cloth weaving, known locally as Ikpa Ákwà, has long been a defining profession of the Ubulu people of Ákwà-Ọcha South local government area of Delta State. As far back as the 19th century, external observers noted the unusual industry of this community. In 1878, during a visit to Ubulu-Uku, T.J. Spencer observed that the inhabitants were not only hardworking, but deeply committed to weaving cloth of every description, sometimes weaving even as they walk through the streets. What we witnessed was not a cottage scale, but a cultural system. To better understand how this tradition fits into wider African society, we now turn briefly to a short BBC documentary exploring indigenous weaving practices of the Ubulu-Uku people. Enjoy watching.
Our name for people where they weave this cloth, na Omenka, that is people making Ákwà-Ọcha, our native cloths. Our mama, the time we die life, he teach me, so now it be my occupation. I know they make garri, I know they do anything. Now this cloth, I sabi weave.
When they are doing marriage, they like to use it. When they are using to do burial, they always wear it. Even though they are going to occasion, some people with the mind they want to wear Ákwà-Ọcha.
Before we do, and you will buy this thread. And this is the instruments that you are using. When starting now, this is the first one. And it is called obo. It's how the length of the cloth you want will be.
If you know as then they do them, whether young or small, you go they do them. As long as you can see clear and prepare it. The machine is available. They are knitting it in the market. Some people are selling it. But when you touch hand and touch this one, they will say no. They will still come back for this one. Because this one is very good. When you are washing it, you begin to spam.
This is our village, Ubulu-Uku. Now Ákwà-Ọcha, then take Enuani. Our cloth not go die.
My name is Madam Felicia Mud. My age is 72 years. Make this business no die because money no day. I've with this cloth for people outside Nigeria. Before, when there is money, government won't help us. That will be a small distance, say, be training people here. So it's from the government's hands that such thing will happen. These young girls, they will be telling them, yes, so we have one business center here where they will be training you people. That is the way they will get some to come and learn.
What we have just seen reflects a deep cultural insight into the weaving culture of Ubulu-Uku people. In that community, weaving takes a deep cultural meaning. Here, weaving is not simply an economic activity. It was social identity. It shaped daily life, defined gender roles, and connected generations long before the arrival of colonial influence on modern textiles. From the earliest times, the people of Ubulu-Uku learned to weave their own cloth, primarily for protection against bad weather and for adornment. Over time, this practical skill evolved into a respected profession and a source of communal pride across Obolo towns and even the wider Igbo nation. The cloth most strongly associated with this heritage is Ákwà-Ọcha, a hand-woven white fabric now fully identified with the cultural ancestry of the Ubulu-Uku kingdom. Its whiteness, as described in the video, is not accidental. It symbolizes dignity, moral clarity, and social honor. Wearing Ákwà-Ọcha communicates status, cultural awareness, and respect for tradition, especially during ceremonies marking transition, such as funeral of elders and important communal rites. Ikpa Ákwà follows a precise process refined over generations. Once thread preparation, known as Itolulu, is complete, weaving begins on traditional looms known as Mboko, which determines the size and structure of the fabric. Another essential tool is the afia, made from two thin cane sticks, joined with spiral lashes to guide thread movement. Supporting tools include aperipa, ndele, ute, opa, ukoti. Each tool has its own unique function and role in the making of this very unique fabric. Movements of these particular threads demand accuracy, and mistakes can be very costly. Precision is mandatory. This is why weaving has always required patience, discipline, and mastery. Certain hand-woven fabrics in these Ákwà-Ọcha designs carry strict cultural rules. One example is Ubulu-Uku, governed by taboos that reinforce purity and respect. The cloth is usually used for cooking. It is forbidden for a woman to wear this cloth during menstruation or while in the toilet. These rules were not arbitrary. They reflect a belief that this cloth, Ákwà-Ọcha, like food, required moral discipline and hygienic consciousness. In Ubulu culture, weaving extended beyond just fabric or craftsmanship. It extends into ethical behavior and order in the society. Weavers such as Rudu Menka that you just watched their video were historically respected as custodians of cultural knowledge. Skills were passed down through observation and practice rather than formal teaching. Weaving was public, visible, and woven into daily life. It provided economic stability and reinforced identity, particularly for women. Today, urban migration, cheaper imported fabrics, and declining apprenticeship threaten this system. What once defined the artistry of Ubulu-Uku women risks becoming symbolic rather than practiced. In the past, when a woman dies, her unso, which is the weaving apparatus, the weaving setup like a machine, is inherited by her children. Nowadays, when a woman passes on, some people even discard the unso because none of the children has mastered or is ready to continue the weaving culture. This weaving cultural practice was in the past passed down from mother to daughters because it is a skill that is mostly practiced by women, even though today we have a few men who have adapted the skill of weaving Ákwà-Ọcha in Ubulu-Uku. Yet, despite these pressures, Ákwà-Ọcha has grown into a powerful symbol of unity for the people of Ubulu-Uku and for the wider Enuani and Anioma communities of Delta State. It serves as a marker of shared heritage at home and in diaspora. Wearing Ákwà-Ọcha today is both remembrance and declaration, a visible link between the past and the present.
Ikpa Ákwà.
It's not merely an old profession. It is a cultural archive woven by hand. Each thread carries history, discipline, and meaning. As long as the looms of Ubulu-Uku remain active, the story of its people remain alive. Preserving Ákwà-Ọcha is not about nostalgia. It is about continuity. Because when a people stop living their identity, they risk losing it. So, as you adorn your beautiful Ákwà-Ọcha design, whether it is Akangose, Kirikiri Star, Uwapu, or whatever design that catches your fancy, just know that you are not just wearing a fabric, but you are wearing an identity carved by the Ubulu-Uku people of Enuani and Anioma in Delta State, Nigeria. Thank you for watching this very beautiful video. If you enjoyed watching this video, please go to our channel. You will find many other interesting videos that will interest you. Please binge on them. Invite as many people as you can to come and watch our videos. Share to your audience, and most importantly, let's see your comments in the comment section. Let us know how you feel about today's discussion of Ákwà-Ọcha. Is there a fabric that is woven in your own community? Would you like us to talk about it? Please drop a comment in the comment section. I will see you in my next video. Hit the subscribe button. Bye.
Enuani.